Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.
It played the wrong intro. It played the outro instead of the intro. Oh my goodness. This is off to a good start already, guys. We try this again. Here we go. That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy Slide is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy Slide is kicking down the door.
Hey, let's try this again. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trennepohl. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, where it is about to storm like crazy this weekend. Make sure you guys have all your bread and your water and everything you need, because us Ohioans always overreact to storms, which actually I don't think we should overreact to this one. This one actually seems like it's pretty legit. We'll see what happens. I'll be nice and warm down here in the ice cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and More. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and More. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. You tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
That's right. We always have a great time down there at Moorline Lager House. Check out Moorline Lager House. Check out Meyer Windows and Doors. And, of course, Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Like this weekend, if you need some snow removal, because it's going to happen, give Priority Lawn and Landscaping a call because they will take care of you. What is up to everybody in the chat? We've got Stranger in there, Rob's in there, and Rob is in there. Rob's in there twice. So, got a big crowd on the show right now. All right. With that being said, Dan Pitcher sounds like he's going to be back as the Bengals offensive coordinator after, like Rob said, taking some interviews and some virtual interviews. I think this is a good move. Keeps the offense cohesive like we had the last 2 years. Dan Pitcher is eventually going to be a head coach somewhere, but I think the last 2 years' failure of the Bengals has hindered him in that way, and maybe calls and plays might help, but we'll see. With that being said, let's get to one of the best reads on the internet. He's from Bengals Talk. He's none other than Landon.
Howdy. My camera is being wonky.
I see that. We can't see your pretty face. Like we're having all kinds of technical difficulties. I started the show here and I played the outro instead of the intro, so I had to redo it. So we're having all kinds of technical difficulties here, but we can go with the voice. At least we can hear you. That's good, Landon.
Yeah. No, I mean they've already started because in Virginia they don't ever they're never prepared here for any kind of like weather. Even like an inch of snow, people start freaking out.
It's the way it is in here in Ohio, man. My wife read one of her friends' Facebook post or whatever that basically Kroger's here is nuts. Everybody's hurry up and grabbing the bread and the milk, and why everybody always grabs bread and milk? I don't know. I mean, I might drink some.
Dude, it's nuts.
Yeah, get some alcohol, get some some stuff you can enjoy while you're stuck in the house all weekend. I don't know, but we'll see. But with that being said,
Sam, brother.
With that being said, the Bengals seem like they're going to retain Dan Pitcher. How realistic do you think this was of Dan actually leaving? One of the biggest ones was for possibly Tampa Bay. And how much of it do you think had to do with him not being the offensive play caller?
So I'm gonna be real as I sit here at a freeze frame. It's kind of, I think it had everything to do with the fact that it wasn't like, it's the fact that he's not a play caller, like currently, right? Like he's had success here. He's obviously been a part of multiple great offenses. The year after he took over for Brian Callahan, suddenly, we saw all these different like looks and formations on the offense. Like we started to see more 12 personnel, 13 personnel. That's where we kind of started to see Eric All started to use more before he unfortunately got hurt. I think that's definitely we've seen how the offense changed when he took over.
Right.
And I think for him, like he also saw that change, obviously, and he knows, like, he wants to call plays. That's like the next step up the ladder for any offensive mind.
Right.
Like, you go from offensive assistant. I think actually a good comparison is Sean Manion, currently with the Packers. He's only in his second year of coaching, but he started off in 2024 as an offensive assistant, and then moved up to quarterbacks coach this year or this past season. And then now I actually believe he could be maybe in line to move up to that next step as either just a offensive coordinator, like we're seeing right now with Dan Pitcher and Brian Callahan before, and not calling plays, or he might just take that next step and be an offensive coordinator that also calls plays.
Yeah, now, I mean, Pitch could move up to head coach without being the actual play caller. I mean, we saw it with Callahan, but I also think a lot of the reason Callahan got that job was of how good Jake Browning did the last year. Uh-oh, Landon has lost. Oh, there he is. Hold on. Let's see. Bring back. Landon, are you there?
I was trying to mess up with the thing.
I see that. All right. So what I was saying before is I think Brian Callahan got the job mostly because he did such a good job of coaching up Jake Browning, and Jake Browning having the best year of his professional career last year. Brian Callahan was here. I think that had a lot to do with Callahan getting the job, and maybe to the detriment of Pitcher this year that Jake didn't do nearly as good. I mean, now they turn around, they coached up Joe I can't think of anybody's names now. Joe Flacco, within less than 24 hours, and he was ready to go. So that was a good thing. Either way, I think Pitch is eventually going to get a head coaching job.
Right. I think so too. He's a great offensive mind. He's very well respected throughout the league. It's just a matter of time. There's a reason that the Buccaneers in particular were looking his way. They were looking his way back before he even got retained to remain with the team. It was, I believe, was that the same year that Callahan left? I think it might have been. But he took, like, I remember it was an interview with Tampa Bay, and they wanted him bad. They were going all in. That's what made the Bengals kind of like, they have to jump and like overpay basically more than they would normally to keep this guy because he was in high demand. And of course, I think if I'm being real, he wasn't going to get the Tampa Bay job no matter what this time. he wasn't going to get the job regardless because they were kind of narrowed down on their search to Zach Robinson and Brian Callahan, ironically.
Right.
But I think it would have been a much longer discussion if Zach Robinson was not available. I think the biggest reason was just because he was Baker's guy.
Right. He got his guy. By the way, I'm really enjoying your freeze frame here. You look very, very intellectual.
Aren't I just like very indulged right now? Like I'm just very focused right now.
I know.
I'm looking at your background right now.
I like it. Now, one thing I gotta give a shout out. This is awesome. Oscar here says, "Houday from Mexico. Here we stream a weekly live show for all Hispanic Bengals fans community." Well, awesome. I'm glad you are checking out my show this week. And Houday to everybody out there, Houday Nation down there in Mexico. So that's pretty freaking cool right there.
Yeah.
We Strawberry Ice is going worldwide, baby.
Worldwide, baby.
All right. So we talked about Dan Pitcher. Let's roll into a little bit of what Duke Tobin said. And
oh boy.
the big, like for me, they started off, they signed Tanner Hudson, which is cool.
Yes.
The next move, and I'm still kind of curious why it hasn't happened yet, is why the hell or when the hell are they going to sign Dalton Reisner, and why hasn't it happened yet?
Yes. I think honestly that's going to be the one where I don't think you see any movement on that until at least the combine.
Really? You think it's going to be that long?
I do. And I don't think it's going to be until at least the combine because the combine is going to be that's their plan for most everything. It's going to be the same for Reisner, I believe, as it's going to be for Flacco. It's going to be used for gauging their market, gauging what interest is out there from other teams. Because Reisner, he's in a much more unique situation as compared to a lot of other guards in the NFL.
I mean, he's basically begging them to sign him. I mean, what?
Yes.
What, I mean, he literally gave them all the leverage in his exit interview in the locker room. Like,
100%.
What else is there to gauge? Like, here, offer him something. He takes it. Cool. Why is that? Which maybe they're doing. I have no idea. But it sounds like it'd be. I don't think it's be much more than what he made last year. His biggest thing sounds like he wants Herb to get signed, know where he's going, and not have to wait till a month before the season starts or 2 weeks before the season starts, whenever the hell the Bengals signed him last year. This seems like a no-brainer. Joe Flacco, I understand. Because Joe Flacco, I can see he would like to come back here, but if he has a shot to be a starter somewhere else, he's going to take that shot. So that one I kind of understand more than Dalton Reisner. Right.
And I think for sure with Flacco's case, I think that's what it's ultimately going to come down to is like what does his market look like as like maybe a bridge quarterback as compared to like just the backup for Joe Burrow.
Right.
He enjoyed his time here. Everyone loves Joe Flacco. Everyone's got a newfound respect for Joe Flacco because of what he did. He was not the reason we lost those games.
No, it was the defense.
Wholeheartedly. And I
not
think
tackling.
Fundamental football.
You recover an onside kick and you still freaking lose.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't even give an effort to tackle Colston Loveland in the open field.
Or the Jets. What I don't know.
The Jets that everyone else who lost to the Jets fired their head coach.
Right. Not the Bengals.
Nope.
But Aaron, now that you brought that up, Aaron, I want to get your thoughts on this. And call me crazy, but I'll preface it this way first before I ask you the question.
Yeah.
You know this and I know this. The Bengals run their team completely different than anybody else in the NFL. They have the smallest coaching staff. They don't have a general manager. They have 3 or 4 assistant GMs. I'm not sure who they're assisting. I guess it's Duke Tobin. My point to this is I'm okay that they didn't fire Duke and Zach because I don't trust Mike Brown and them to go find somebody who's better. Who's better that they can actually hire, because they're not going to go get Tomlin. They're not going to go get John Harbaugh because those guys won't come here. They won't come here because they want control. Then you have to go and you have to find somebody who's able to navigate through all the way the Bengals do things, where your coaches have to scout, your scouts have to coach, which actually makes no sense to me whatsoever, but that's what the Bengals do. Yeah. And Duke and Zac have proven, now, granted, and I'm going to sound like Duke, well, he went to the Super Bowl 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. But in their defense, they have proven that they can navigate this system and have a successful team.
Right.
Well, will they do it again this year? That's where I am okay with them not firing. I wasn't like huge on firing Marvin Lewis because he was the best coach we had for 20 years of, after Sam White. So Sam White's a whole bunch of crap, and then Marvin. So that's where I'm okay that they still kept Zac and Duke because of the situation that we're in, because it's totally different than anybody else. Am I crazy? What's your thoughts on that? I can see you moved a little bit.
Yeah, I know we moved a little bit. I think the StreamYard's having a fun old time.
It's snow. And the snow that's not even here. And people in Mexico, you do not have to worry about snow. It'll be a bad day for the world if it snows in Mexico.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I think honestly, when it comes to Zac Taylor, the whole situation, I think that you're right. They have their own way of doing business, and they're never going to stray too far from that. No. You may see smaller type of moves come through the pipeline, like, what we saw last year, like promotions to assistant general manager. These smaller type of like changes to their overall philosophy.
Right.
They're still going to be holding on to that core belief that they have, and I don't see that ever changing. As for someone like Zac, I don't think Zac is wholeheartedly to blame for everything. I don't think it's that cut and dry. I don't think if you put anyone like Mike Tomlin, let's just say, because you mentioned his name, right. Like Mike Tomlin, for example, I don't think he's going to come in here and be like stellar, like that much better than Zac right off the bat. I just can't see it. I truly believe that, yes, while Zac Taylor has his shortcomings, like, I don't know, punting when you're at midfield at 4th and 1 and it's the final game of your season and you're already eliminated. I don't know. That's the
point of the game, or before the game of the season, like the time to actually go for it, because it doesn't really matter. He punts it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you say in the post game that you're playing for your lives out there. Yeah. So
exactly.
Those kind of things that like, that would be, those are the kind of comments that like, maybe Zac would say like, oh, I put my foot in my mouth there, because he loves to use that phrase. So often it feels like,
right.
But I think that Zac is still a good coach. Is he the right guy to lead them to a Super Bowl? I would have to say no right now, because you've only ever got close to it. You didn't win it though. And you've never gotten close to being back to that point, aside from the year after.
The next year. Yeah. I mean, I'll put it this way. People give me crap for years. I'm a Zac Taylor guy. I like Zac. I do think he's a good coach. I'm not one that like, oh my goodness, I love Zac. Zac does everything perfectly and he should never change anything. I mean, the whole thing with play calling, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I mean, if he gives it up or not, I think he should, so he can just be the head coach and not have to worry about the play calling. But I don't think that's the how much people talk about Zac Taylor calling plays and how much they think a difference that's going to make is ridiculous. It's not going to fix the defense. Zac Taylor is not going to go stop playing or calling plays, and then all of a sudden, you know what? I've never been a defensive coach, but I'm going to help fix the defense. I don't think Zac Taylor would really make it different. I really don't think him calling the plays, not calling it matters. This offense is pretty damn good the way it is.
Yeah, I think
that being said,
yeah,
the whole problem with this team is that defense, and it's been it's the same thing that the Buffalo Bills have. They did not have a talented enough team to win. That is, and I think it's stupid as hell that they blamed it all on the coach. To me, I would have blamed it on the general manager, because Josh Allen had nobody to throw the ball to.
Oof.
Joe Burrow's got guys to throw the ball to. They got nobody to stop the other team. You know, That's that goes more on Duke Tobin, where that's more of where I have put the blame on him, his drafting, his developing, and don't come out and say I don't pay for the same team that I had last year, and then go pay for a cheaper team. That's even worse.
Absolutely. I think. Oh God. That was I am sure as hell happy that I am not a Bills fan today.
No,
because I don't know how you come out of that feeling good. Like that whole press conference was a dumpster fire and made several Bengals fans that are known Duke Tobin haters even go, well, I'm grateful for Duke Tobin.
Right, exactly.
Because at least Duke Tobin acknowledged where he's messed up in the past to a degree. Does that change things going forward? Who knows? We'll see. That past history says no.
Well, another thing I'll put that you brought that up. Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you up, but keep bringing up good points. To that point, I almost think the Bengals have put themselves in a corner. They don't have a choice but to go more into free agency, kind of like what they did in 21 and 22, because they have done such a bad job of it and drafting and developing and free agency the last 3 years. They have to.
Right.
I mean, unless they're all just – unless they like people – a lot of Bengals fans think that they don't care, which I don't think they don't care. I do think they want to win. I think they care about it. I don't know if they're willing to do everything possible it is to win. But to that point, there's nowhere else to go. If they want to improve this team, you're not going to get 3 or 4 defensive starters in this draft. Yeah. Hopefully you get 2 of them, first, second round. That, to me, that's should be too much to ask for 2 of them. You're going to have to fill the rest of them in free agency. So to me, they have to do that.
Yes, I agree. They do. They have to. I just, do they believe that? Do they believe strongly in that?
How they wouldn't
enough? It seems
they got blinders on.
It's so obvious,
right?
And that's what makes it so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally right there in their face, yet they don't do it.
Right.
And they just choose to continue to pigeonhole themselves into these different needs. Like last year, I think over the past 2 seasons, the best free agent signings that you can say we've had are one, Dalton Reisner for sure.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's solidified the right guard spot if he can get signed long term.
He's probably the best we've had in 2 years.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
TJ Slayton, he's been average.
He wasn't as good as I had hoped. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't as much of an impact as I had hoped he would be.
Right. I think he gives you subpar to average play. Like you can at least feel semi-comfortable with TJ Slayton in the lineup.
It would help if he had another guy next to him. That would help.
For sure. And that's their dire need.
Mm-hmm.
Their dire need, and this is the kryptonite right now. Like you can get as many Trey Hendricksons, I feel like, as you want. I'm sure everyone would love that and it would be great and it would make a difference. The biggest difference would come if you can get a playmaker on the interior.
Pressure up the middle and a run stopper would be awesome.
It's the reason why it's the reason why those late teams from like 2013, 2012, like the Andy Dalton led teams, which don't ask.
Just look at the Super Bowl. You had DJ Reader, you had Larry O, and you had BJ Hill right there.
Right. And even then, like Larry O gets hurt. If Larry O doesn't get hurt, who knows what happens?
Right.
Or
if they re-sign him.
Yeah. Right. Well,
that would make too much sense.
that was a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
That one. I know that there were a lot of hurt feelings on that one.
That one felt like it was like we're going to sign one of you guys, either or BJ or Larry O, whichever one signs the contract first gets it. That's what it felt like.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
And then he has the whole back issue when he signs with the Bears, and then he gets released and because he fails the physical, and then it's a lot of hurt feelings going back there.
Yeah.
But just when it comes to like their overall belief in terms of like how they view free agency, how they view the draft, they have just like this habit of pigeonholing himself constantly, as we all know. And it just feels as though it's too obvious to ignore this time.
Yeah.
It's too obvious to ignore, or too obvious to just like sign 1 or 2 guys and then that's it.
Like for me, you got to get an edge, an interior guy,
right.
a linebacker, and I'll put it this way because I'm not giving up on the two rookies. A linebacker who could start. I'm not talking about a sure backup, a guy who could start. If you need him to start, he could start, but also he could be your backup if the two rookies make the jump next year. You got to get a safety, and I'm shocked. Now this is January 22nd. Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates both, as of right now, have Caleb Downs mocked to the Bengals, which I'd be happy with that. I'd
be ecstatic with that.
I still would be surprised, but the one caveat that he could get there is safeties don't get drafted very high in the first round, no matter how good they are.
They don't.
Now, that's the one caveat where he could drop to us. Now, the other thing I say, I doubt this guy, if Ruben Baines Jr. drops, which I don't think he's going to.
No.
I might take him because this draft is deep in safeties and linebackers. But the guy that keeps sticking out to me that I think is going to be there, and I can totally see the Bengals taking him, is Peter Woods out of Clemson.
You can see that.
So to me, those are the three. I think I don't think it's going to be Baines. I think we have a better shot at either being Peter Woods or Josh. I do this all the time.
Ruben Bain.
No, Ohio State. Caleb Downs. Either Caleb Downs. I think it'd be Peter Woods or Caleb Downs. Yeah. Oh, what's wrong, man?
I think, and you did great. You did fine.
I just get brain cramps. I'm like, why can't I remember people's names?
It's still like January. Like we don't got to start remembering these names big time yet until the combine hits, until after the Super Bowl. So that's just kind of where we're at. That's where I'm at least. Mm-hmm. Like now after the national championship is when I really start to kind of dive into prospects and all that.
Yeah. Start getting into it more then.
Well, I think you touched on a good point there. Like you see a lot of safeties really drop into at least the teens in the draft, like the really elite ones. Like we've seen it time and time again. We've seen it with your Derwin James, your Kyle Hamiltons, these game-changing guys like that are the best at what they do. But they didn't get drafted until like until mid to late in the first round. I can absolutely see Caleb Downs being there. The only concern I would have, it comes back to the Chiefs because the Chiefs are directly in front of us. Because
that's where I think Baines is going.
I could see Bain going there. I don't think I could also see Bain actually falling. I could see Bain falling a bit in the draft because of his length. I think
short arms. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It happens every year. You see an edge rusher like these NFL teams, they will overthink it and they'll just try to go with a surefire prospect over the risk.
Now, just to preface this and put some facts behind this, I just looked this up. Ed Reed is one of the greatest safeties to ever play.
Right.
Was drafted 24th overall by the Baltimore Ravens in 2002. That's Ed Reed. Right. So yes, there's precedence for safeties to drop. They just don't take them that high. So there is a better than slight chance that Caleb Downs will be there.
I agree.
And Baines, you're right. Baines could drop because once we get into the combine and all this other stuff, guys are going to move up, guys are going to drop down, And the thing is, what I'm always hoping for is I always want, when we're picking lower, as many quarterbacks to get in the draft as possible because they're always going to overdraft quarterbacks,
This is not the year for that.
No, it's not. And I mean, did he decide to come out? I haven't heard yet.
I have not heard anything on that yet. At least not that I know of.
I know he's trying to get his extra year back. To me, even if he got his extra year back, I would come out if I were him because
I don't think you're going to do much better.
Right. And you don't know what you're going to have with Ole Miss next year. Now, Oscar's got a good point, and I actually did an article on this. I think might have been one I sent to you on my Substack. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Substack, please do. I says we need to take advantage of the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers situation. All of them will have new head coaches and start rebuilding process. I've said that this is what I've said is one thing with, and I always look at everything with glass half full. You know, everyone's like, oh my goodness, the Bengals are the only ones that kept their coach. Yeah, that gives us an advantage, in my opinion, because the Steelers, unless they look, I'm gonna crack up laughing if they do this. If they go out and they sign hire Mike McCarthy and they bring back Aaron Rodgers again, that would be. I hope you do. I swear to God, I hope you do. That would be the stupidest thing to do, because all it's going to do is make you do the same thing you've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. You're going to win 9 or 10 games. You might make the playoffs, and you're going to lose in the first round, and you're going to suck.
Like sands through an hourglass. These are the days of our Steelers.
Exactly. And I'm like, what they need to do is blow this thing up. They get rid of these old guys. They have an older defense. Get rid of them, trade them, get draft picks, and rebuild that, and get a young head coach in there. That's what they need to do.
Well,
why they don't, I have no freaking clue.
What is especially fascinating about the AFC North going into next year is one, yes, obviously Zac Taylor, longest tenured head coach in the North now, which can't believe I'm actually saying these words.
Yeah.
But
we had Marvin Lewis, the second longest tenured to Bill Belichick for all those years. So
don't even get me started. Goodness, we have certainly they're patient. I can never take that away from them.
They are definitely patient.
What is especially fascinating about the North, besides the fact that no one wants the Cleveland Browns job, everyone just keeps on pulling out of that race or just rejecting it.
Well, especially since there's so many other way better jobs available. I mean,
I don't blame them a bit.
No.
But we just saw the Ravens make the, hire that we all thought was going to happen. They just hired Jesse Minter to be.
Oh, they did? That's official?
Yes. Yeah, they just hired him.
Okay.
It was like 2 minutes before the show started.
Oh, I didn't even see it. All right, so Jesse Minter is their new head coach. All right, cool.
Yep, which everyone knew that was going to happen. I'm just glad that they didn't get a chance to hire Mike McDonald.
Yeah, that would have been the better way to go, I think.
For sure. That was the one that's the one that got away, and that's the one that Ravens fans will tell you that got away. But what is especially like big on this with me is with the Ravens and Steelers, we've seen them not hire coaches in decades.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been decades. Like Jesse Minter, they were saying it, he's only the 4th head coach in Ravens history.
Right.
So, and whoever it's going to be the same for the Steelers. It's going to be the 4th coach in their history.
Yeah, that's since 1969 or 68, whenever they hired Chuck Nola.
Right. And those people who were in the front office when they made the original hires, like the great hires of like John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin at the time, those people are either getting ready to retire or they already are retired and they're out of the front office.
Yeah, that was Ozzie Newsome for the Ravens.
Right.
He's retired.
Right. So I'm curious to see what type of pedigree. I'm going to be tracking this throughout the season next year. How these coaches for the Ravens and the Steelers compare to, like, say, the first season that Mike Tomlin had and how the first season was with John Harbaugh. That's going to be that's going to be something for me to track, and something that's going to be a good idea to track, because they've not had too many. They don't have experience when it comes to interviewing coaches, bringing in, head coaches. Like they have coordinators, obviously, that have left from time to time, but is their head coaching like search? Is that are they still like the top dog in the league?
Now, the interesting thing is going to be who is his OC going to be? Because this is one thing I'm curious, because it kind of sounded like they got rid of John Harbaugh because of Lamar. Sound like Lamar was over him, or whatever. Lamar should remember, he should owe John Harbaugh his career right now, because there's a lot of teams that would have not completely changed their offense to fit his scheme, which is what NFL teams should do, but a lot of them don't. Right. Now, I'm curious because this is where when Lamar has failed in the playoffs, my opinion, he tries to prove that he's an accurate pocket passer, which he's not. I don't care. He's a good quarterback. He's an MVP, yada, yada. He's not an accurate passer. You can go look at the stats. He's not.
Right.
I'm wondering if, because their owner said, he wanted Lamar to come in and be part of the interview process and all this stuff. Is Lamar wanting to be that pocket passer to prove that he can do it? And if he does, I'm here for it. I will absolutely love it. I say that's what you should exactly do. I'm just a Bengals fan because I want you to suck because it'll be a horrible idea to do. So that's where I'm curious is if they're going to try to change the offense, run the same version of what they had, which is what they should do, or are they going to try to totally change things up, which is like what it sounds like they want to do, which is crazy. Did you get that vibe?
I don't know if I necessarily got that vibe. I think the vibe I more so got is that they want to try to they see the criticism. The Ravens organization, they saw the criticism with the lack of using Derrick Henry, the lack of, using the run game with Lamar. I feel as though they're going to get someone who can for sure commit to that while still semi incorporating the pass. It's going to be a full run heavy offense. Similar to what we saw. Was that 20? I forget what year. I think it was 2019.
Eagles? Is that like the Eagles were last year?
No, it's 2019 actually. It was that Ravens team.
Oh, okay.
It was that Ravens team from back then. They were just all over the place. That was the whole year where you had Mark Ingram there. He was going on a heater. Lamar Jackson. I feel like they want to kind of get back a little bit to that formula, while kind of find a happy medium.
Well, I kind of wonder how much longer does Derrick Henry have?
That's the thing.
Yeah, because I kind of thought he might have been, I won't say washed, but a little on the downside of his career when he first went to Baltimore. I was wrong about that. He's had two really good years. But eventually it is. Running backs just fall off a cliff eventually.
Right.
And as much, look at Saquon Barkley. He had 2,000 yards last year. He didn't have come close to that this year. So he call that scheme, call that whatever, but he wasn't as productive.
And I think what you're seeing with Derrick Henry is there's just so much of in the modern NFL, there has not been a running back to do this kind of thing. You're going back a decade plus. You're talking your LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, he's an old school running back, yeah.
Yes. And I think with modern NFL coaches, they've gone so much, they've leaned so heavily into the pass heavy offenses that we see today. It's kind of it's almost like a culture shock to them, right? Seeing the old school running back reemerge. And it's they can still do that. They still exist.
Right.
And it's
shocking.
How do we conserve this kind of thing? And that's where I feel like Harbaugh maybe got a little bit too much heat because I get the whole not using Derrick Henry enough, and I completely agree, didn't use him enough. But at the same time, you have to look at it through an objective lens. We have not seen a running back like Derrick Henry go well into his 30s. Still going for 1,800 yards a pop, per season.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, it's the first time in a decade plus that we have seen it. And so I think you want to figure out how you can conserve that effectiveness while also realizing he is it's gonna happen at some point. The cliff is coming. How do I conserve this effectiveness? We were on the brink of the playoffs. How do I use him enough, but not too much if we do make the playoffs, that kind of thing.
Right.
It just, I feel like there's a little bit too much flack for that. It would be different if it was a guy let's just say Chase Brown, for example. Chase Brown starts going on a heater heater late into the season. Once Flacco and the offense start to kind of dip down a little bit, you saw Chase Brown kind of emerge.
Right.
And I think at that point, like if you had seen Zac Taylor in the offense, like only give Chase Brown the ball like 10 times a game, it would be an outrage, and rightfully so, because he's still very young. He fits the mold of your average NFL running back today. He's not your Derrick Henry, who is 31 years old, still putting up a pop, but you know the cliff is coming. Mm-hmm. That's where I think it's a little bit tricky, and that's where I think it's very different.
Yeah, that's where hopefully next year he falls off a cliff. That's what I hope.
I mean, for our sake.
Yeah. Now I'll go back to kind of what Oscar brought up about how the Bengals need to take advantage of this. And I this is kind of the article, or premise of the article I wrote on Substack, is that I think this makes the AFC North wide open. I no matter what the Steelers do, they're I don't think they're gonna be that good. Even if you get Aaron Rodgers, he could be another year older. If they go and they totally blow this thing up and try to rebuild, they're definitely going to suck. The Ravens, like we just stated, we don't know how Derrick Henry's going to be. They're going to have a new coach and how all that's going to work out.
Right.
The Bengals, if they go and fix their defense through free agency in the draft, like they should be the choice to win the AFC North, I think, because you got if they fix it. If they fix it, because you already got the coach, you definitely got the quarterback. You got the coach who's been there, done that, been in the Super Bowl. Everybody else has got brand new coaches. You're going to have a very easy schedule. I mean, it's because we've had 2 years of 6-10 last year. We're gonna have a very easy schedule next year. Mm-hmm. So they everything is lined up for, and I hate to say this, but this is a Bengal. The way it lines up for the Bengals, when they have good years, we've had a couple crappy years, and then the gates open up and everything lines up and we go, and this to me, as long as they hit the offseason the way they should, which like I've said before in this broadcast, I don't see how they can do it any other way, but adding through free agency, the NFC North is wide open for them to win the division, and I think it should be, I don't want to say it should be pretty easy, but it should be wide open for them to take advantage of this, and hopefully they will. I mean, am I crazy in this?
No, you're not crazy in it. I think it is an absolutely realistic expectation to have. When you retain coaches, this was the key, and this was a major sticking point for a lot of different people, even after 2021, 2022. Those peak years where you're seeing your Brian Callahans, your Lou Anarumos, they're getting head coaching options, and we thought for sure Lou was gone. We thought for sure Lou Anarumo was gone to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And he ends up not getting the job. And then when we get him back, yes, we're sad, but it's rare to have that kind of continuity in your coaching staff. And when it's working like that, it helps to keep your staff.
It does.
And I think the same can even be said in this scenario. Like you have this continuity. You saw the coaching staff, like the offense has kept on rolling. I'm not concerned about the offense. And as far as I'm concerned, you only have one, maybe two needs on the offense that you need to address. And it's like only swing tackle and
slot
re-signing Dalton Risner.
Yeah, well, I would say slot too.
Slot is in there for sure. But
and that's one thing they do have to address: swing tackle, and it ain't going to happen this year. But they're going to start addressing left tackle here eventually. Because
I'll just put Cody Ford in the slot, man.
Whoo! I'd take it. Let's go. Get that big man out there and let him run.
That's what I'm saying. Let him switch.
Big man balling.
Yeah. Just get Cody Ford out there at slot receiver. Get a swing tackle. Your problem solved.
We're fixed.
No, honestly, I think. And something that I thought about, and this was after the Bills press conference yesterday, we've seen the Bengals take risks in the past.
Yeah.
We've seen them take one risk in the very recent past. That risk did not work out at all. It was Jermaine Burton.
No.
Jermaine Burton, that was a dumpster fire.
Don't take that risk again. Don't.
He who shall not be named.
I almost forgot about him.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Good old 80th overall. Great. But
lit that pick on fire.
But that's where, like, this is one of those times where something that fixes a direct need is staring you directly in the face. It fixes a direct need because you get this person, it allows you to still be versatile with Jamar Chase, move him the slot outside, be all over the place. We just saw this guy get roasted by his own owner. It makes all the sense in the world for them to take a flyer right now on a Keon Coleman. Like, trade a 6 for him. His cost right now is the lowest it's ever going to be, unless he's just flat out cut, which I don't think is out of the realm.
How can he walk back into that building? I mean,
you can't.
Because you're like, well, the guy who wanted you, we ran him out of town, and the GM, they didn't want you in the first place. Yeah. The guy's like, well, shit.
Even though there is quite literally proof of him saying that he hopes that he's glad that you ran a slow 40, and he was glad because then that means that he's going to fall to you. But I digress. No, you trade for this is one of those layup moves that would shore up a weakness while also like just strengthening your core and doing it at a cheap rate. Because yes, you can go and try drafting another slot guy or whatever, another guy, something like what you envision Charlie Jones would be. The Tyler Boyd replacement. I think with Keon Coleman, he has flashed enough with the limited opportunities. Yes, there is off-field issues, so to speak. A lot of people, I remember I sent out a tweet about this, and then I got a comment saying another Burton ? He and Jermaine Burton's problems are nowhere near the same realm. They're not. And based on how that owner answered that question, his morale's at an all-time low. I wonder how long this was going on and how much pressure he felt from the owner in particular for that at a very young age.
And this is why we probably don't want Mike Brown doing press conferences because he probably say some similar stuff.
Honestly.
All right. I want to move on to Al Golden here. And I've had more people that I thought would be like, we got to fire Al Golden. We got to get rid of him. And I'm like, really?
That's interesting.
Because I'm not saying he did an excellent job, but he did what he came here to do. He came here to develop these young guys. We have two, I think, top tier corners in DJ Turner and Dax Hill. We didn't know that before. Sure as hell didn't know anything about DJ Turner. Miles Murphy, we actually saw some production, his best year of his career. That's because of Al Golden. Joseph Osai, he got injured again, but when he was playing good, he was impactful.
Yes.
Jordan Battle, it was still kind of up and down, but it's more ups and downs. I mean, you can live with Jordan Battle, especially if you
for sure
somebody else there with him. So to me, Al Golden did what he was here to do. The problem is he doesn't have enough talent, and that goes back to last offseason. So going back to where you're saying continuity, this would be the second year in the system, and everybody will be more comfortable. They know what they're supposed to do when the new draft picks come in or free agents come in. The guys, not everybody's learning the system. The veterans already know it. They can help the new guys out, and it's going to be more cohesive. I think just that alone, the defense is going to play better next year. Now, like I said, we're not going to be a top 5. I don't have to be a top 5. We're middle of the road. Biggest thing for me, if you're watching the playoffs at all, pass rush.
Oh, yeah.
You get consistent pressure. And I've been saying this for 3 years. Consistent pressure on that quarterback. It fixes so much stuff. It's not even funny.
Well, you put pressure on the quarterback. That's how you end up getting a Patrick Mahomes interception tossed to BJ Hill.
Exactly.
But
I agree with you. They're going to use the fifth year option on Miles. They better.
Yes, they have to.
I totally agree with that.
I think Miles Murphy he's basically your Sam Hubbard replacement, just an improved version of Sam Hubbard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
he can actually get pressure on the quarterback, Sam, consistently.
Yes. He
which we didn't know that last year. We had no idea.
No, he offers more pass rush. He can stop the run. He has a high motor. It's coming into fruition the older he gets.
And I'm not giving up on Shamar Stewart. I do think
it's too early.
I do think he's going to be good. I've seen very small flashes, but I have seen flashes. And if he can come in and have a normal offseason, not have his stupid agent ruin his whole training camp and everything, which I blame that totally on his agent.
I get it. Yeah, I do.
And then getting injured didn't help, which
no.
If you come in for training camp and you get acclimated and everything, you might not get injured.
Right.
But either way, I think Shamar Stewart is going to have I don't know how big of an impact. And there's part of me that I'm kind of like, if you get an edge, like Joey Bosa or somebody like that out there, you could kick Shamar Stewart in the inside a lot.
Yes. Shamar Stewart is probably your best bet for someone on stunts right now. I think he's the best equipped to play like the Joseph Osai type of role.
Right.
Because I don't think Osai comes back. I think Osai is going to sign elsewhere. I think he's probably going to get overpaid to the extent as much as we saw Trey Hendrickson get paid by the Bengals the first time.
He's got David Mulugeta. Mulugeta is going to – I'm surprised they got him to come back for 1 year. But as productive as he was, I think Mulugeta is going to go get him a bag somewhere.
For sure. Osai is going to be gone somewhere else. I think Hendrickson, that ship has sailed. I think Shamar Stewart, he offers the best chance to kind of be your Osai replacement, but even coupled with that is where you need to still add to this pass rush. You need to go and add a proven guy. And
would you be in on Bosa? Would that be a guy you'd be in on?
I would be in on Bosa if the deal was right, like a 2-year.
Yeah, I'm not saying
$20 deal.
I think he's on the downside of his career, but he's still a productive guy.
Right. But I would be more interested in another guy. And this is a potential cap casualty.
Who you got?
From Green Bay, Rashawn Gary.
Ooh.
He's looking like he's going to be a cut candidate. Jerry Montgomery connection, very comparable to Miles Murphy. I think Rashawn Gary would be a pretty big pickup. That's something to kind of keep my eye on.
I think that'd be a very big pickup. When do those start happening? What's the earliest they start happening?
I think it's more so kind of like when you're getting near free agency.
Yeah, so you're talking about
it's after the combine.
Yeah, closer to March.
Yeah, because at the combine, their teams are trying to like scramble to see like, can we get anything for this guy or any team to like kind of take the contract?
Right. No
one's taking Rashawn Gary's contract because it's outrageous for his production levels this year. I think he had a down year. We've seen it happen to multiple guys, and then we've also seen them bounce back. And him coming back, getting back to basics with someone who was, defensive line. I know like there's the whole argument that he was really positioned was outside linebacker. You cannot convince me that he did not work with Jerry Montgomery from time to time in Green Bay. He definitely did. Cannot convince me otherwise. And I think that would be something that would be beneficial to him, especially playing fully at defensive end now. And having somebody with that same kind of Miles Murphy-esque mold, athletic, can get to the quarterback, create pressure, stop the run, big-bodied, along with Shamar Stewart, I think you're looking at a very vicious pass rush with that.
That would be unbelievable. And I have Caleb Downs in the back or the secondary.
Right.
I'm here. I mean, if they could get a consistent, I don't know if it sounds like a broken word, but consistent pass rush. I'll even take if they spent more money on getting pass rushes and left the linebacker room alone, which is part of me that I think they might leave the linebacking room alone. I think they like it more than I do. But if you get Caleb Downs and you get an actual pass rush, that linebacking room gets a lot better.
Yes, Every part of the defense does.
Yeah, so
every
I'm
part
not
of the defense gets better.
right. So if you can, and I go back to that because what Duke said in his press conference, he kept bringing up pass rush. That's where it sounded like his focus was to get this defense better, which I totally agree with him. I think they should have done that last year and the year before that, but they haven't.
Yeah. No,
So,
it makes all the sense in the world. And I think when it comes to linebacker, they're not going to address it the way that we would like them to. I don't think like they're not going to go out and get a Devin Lloyd. They're not going to get a Devin Bush. Nothing. No one like that.
Probably not. I like them too, but probably not.
I would too. I would love to get a Devin Bush.
Devin Bush would be awesome.
Oh yeah, it'd be fantastic. But I just actually wrote an article on this today. A linebacker to keep an eye on in the playoffs that I actually think that they will go after.
There you got.
Because think back to when Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt were still rookies, young players in the league.
Right.
They went out and got Josh Bynes.
Yeah.
To mentor them.
Yep.
To be like the third guy, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
That's
kind of what they need.
Yes, I think that someone to keep an eye on, especially this weekend, and you're going to see him. It's going to be Justin Trennepohl for the Broncos. He's made several different starts this year in place of Dre Greenlaw, Alex Singleton. He's looked great when he's on the field. It almost makes me believe that maybe the Broncos try to keep him and make him even maybe a starter over Alex Singleton. But if he does become available, I don't think his value is going to be that high. I think they would try to make him probably like that third voice, that starter in a spot, maybe a mentor type role for one season, starting over like Demetrius Knight, Barrett Carter, and mentoring them in that role. Because I could absolutely see that, especially considering Al Golden was the guy that got Josh Bynes.
Right. They need help in that linebacking room. They need veteran help in there. That's to me what was missing this year is a veteran leader in there to help those guys navigate their rookie season. I'll put this up here real quick. KP from KC. He says, anybody remember the Giants corners for Super Bowls? Trade Hill for pass rusher if we need to. I don't know if Dax Hill gets you a pass rusher. I mean, I think, Go ahead.
I don't want to trade Dax Hill.
I don't want to trade him either. But I'm just saying, I don't know if he would get you a pass rusher, like the one that's worth trading Dax Hill for.
No.
And I mean, I know he said something up in the comments earlier about, the Bengals won't sign both Dax Hill and DJ Turner. They didn't come in the same draft. I think they're
no, they were 1 year apart.
Yeah. So Dax, I think they picked his 5th-year option, so he'll be a free agent after next year.
Right.
So
and same with DJ.
Yeah. So and they have paid corner. They've paid 2 corners before. I mean,
well, they paid one. They paid one corner and then let the other walk with Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph.
Well, they tried to pay Jonathan Joseph. Jonathan Joseph wanted to get the hell out of here.
Oh, he was not. He was not having it.
Yeah, he wasn't coming back. They did quote unquote try. So
yeah, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
That was also a much different time.
Yeah.
I think I would hope that the lesson has been learned at this point to try and pay who you can develop. And they love Dax. They absolutely adore Dax Hill in that building. Well,
he's done everything they've ever asked him to do. What wouldn't they like about him?
Exactly. And that was one of the biggest proponents to Lou Anarumo getting fired, was Dax Hill's lack of development was a key culprit in that. 2022, he doesn't see any playing time at the safety spot.
No, then Miles Murphy the next year. That I was screaming for that.
Yes,
I mean he didn't develop anybody. I'm like, they can't keep signing free agent. That's to me, you hit the nail on the head. That's the problem as to why our defense went the way it was. Look, they can't sign everybody. I said this for years. They actually had a plan to replace Jesse Bates. It was Dax Hill. That was their plan. Mm-hmm. Lou didn't want any part of that plan. He wouldn't play Dax. And Miles Murphy was there. Oh, I thought at first to replace Trey Henderson, but either Trey Henderson or Sam Hubbard. But he wouldn't play him. I'm like,
well, that's why the only thing that Dax kind of became famous for in his rookie year was illegal touching, like running out of bounds and then coming back and bounds on punts.
Yeah,
like he was not getting any rotation time. He wasn't getting any rotation. You could have swapped him in place of Von Bell, and I'm sure Von Bell would have been fine with it at that point. Yeah. Like that would have been an opportune time for him to like study Jesse Bates quite a bit, and I think we end up in a very different spot than we are now. I know how much they value Dax. I don't foresee them ever getting rid of Dax. I think that's going to be someone that they try to make a Bengals lifer. I think that it's when it comes to DJ Turner, this is where it gets tricky, because when it comes to DJ, I feel as though the front office is going to want to. They're going to want to maybe see one more year of this type of play, and thus do the thing that we all hate: push it off into the future, end up costing yourself more money because the market's going to change, and eventually, now that he's done it twice in a row, now you have to pay DJ Turner Sauce Gardner money.
Yeah. Now the smart thing would be to sign him now, because that's the crazy thing is most of the NFL contracts are not guaranteed. And if you sign DJ Turner to a contract, he probably is not asking for a guaranteed contract, nor the Bengals giving one.
Not at this point.
So that's why I don't understand why the Bengals won't be aggressive in doing stuff like that. So we sign them now when they're cheaper, and if it doesn't work out, you can cut them. Right. Now, Fuzzy Balls here brought up something, another article I wrote on Substack. You guys can check it out.
Fuzzy Balls. Huh?
Fuzzy Balls. Trade first-round pick for Max Crosby. That's the one thing. I said a first round, second round, a third round is what I said. I mean, I don't honestly believe that it'll actually happen. But my point, my point to this whole thing is going back to what Duke said. He wants leadership, impact player, pass rusher. That's Max Crosby. He's a leader. He's an impact player, and he's a pass rusher.
Oh, he's a description to the T. Yeah. Like I'd sign me up, but they won't do it. I don't think they would ever do that. No, I mean, they can't. Come on now, they do such a good job of draft. They cannot give up their draft picks for a proven 28-year-old pass rusher. I mean, come on. Well, yeah, just look at how good McKinley Jackson has done. Yeah, look at how good Jermaine Burton is. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, guys, these are studs. You can't just let these guys, not draft. We're being awfully mean to these guys if they're ever listening. Hey, McKinley Jackson, I'm a McKinley Jackson fan. I love McKinley Jackson. I do. McKinley Jackson. I think I was a little irritated with Al Golden because he wasn't playing him. I agree. And I'm like, so it was something McKinley wasn't doing. I don't know what it was. I'd love to find out. I'd love to pick Al Golden's brain saying why did you not play McKinley Jackson? What did you want him to do? What did he need to improve upon? That's what I think it was. He wasn't doing something in practice or whatever that he wasn't. It's either that or somehow he's just constantly ended up in Zac Taylor's doghouse. Maybe that's where Zac Taylor is like being the whole team head coach and not just offensive side. That could be it. There you go. Which I think for as much flack as Zach gets for the offense was bad, but the defense sucks. Like he's not just the head coach. I get it. I understand. There's so much that is not known, and Zach is responsible for how the culture is built inside the locker room. Like, there's a reason that guys like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, like, they all vouched for keeping Zach. Mm-hmm. Like, they believe in him. That's not for nothing. Right. So it goes beyond just he's just head coach of the offense. No, that's not what it is. No, there's more to it. Now, Wing here says, as far as she knows, the Bengals have only approached 3 players so far since the season ended, starting their initial intention to moving forward or not. What are the 3 players? I want names, Wing. Tell me who they are. I'm gonna say I'm interested too. Yeah, which 3? I would love to know. Hopefully, one of them. We know Tanner Hudson was. We know Tanner Hudson. Yeah, we know that one. Yeah, which that was a good sign to keep. Yeah, but people crack me up. Wasn't that many people. I had one guy go, "Well, he's not an elite tight end."
No, duh. Nobody said he
No.
was. We didn't get an elite tight. We didn't get a elite tight end. I'm like, we got one actually. His name is Mike Gesicki.
And like he does his job.
And everybody, I keep forgetting about Eric All. If Eric All, it's all indications are he's healthy and good to go.
Yeah,
that man is a game changer. Yeah,
for sure.
He can do anything and everything.
I'm not ready to write the book at all yet on Eric All. I think he can still develop. I think he's in his mind, he's overcome that knee injury before I think he'll be back. Tanner Hudson.
Thanks, Oscar, for joining. See if you're taking off. Thanks, Oscar.
Take it easy, Oscar. Appreciate you. I think with Tanner Hudson, he's made big plays in big moments. Like he mossed the ever-loving hell out of Kyle Hamilton in the end zone. It was an elite pass by Burrow, yes, but
pretty damn good catch.
Tanner Hudson also mossed Kyle Hamilton, the best safety in football. So, no, he makes plays when he needs to.
Well, we're about to have the best safety in football. His name is Caleb Downs.
Don't you forget it.
All right, Landon, do me a favor, plug some stuff so we can get on out of here.
Yes, sir. You can find me over on Twitter, Landon_Belote, writer for Bengals Talk SI. Try to post at least a few articles every week. Just posted one just got posted actually on Dan Pitcher and 3 other teams that could come calling his way. Ooh. That actually, I think one is actually very likely.
So we're not out of the woods yet. Dan still might leave.
In my opinion, no. I don't think we are.
Oh, real quick. If he does leave, you know who they got on speed dial, right?
Oh, they already got the private jet there waiting at Callahan's house.
Yeah.
They are ready for that.
That's exactly who it'll be. All right, Landon. I appreciate you, brother. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Yes, sir. Always appreciate you, Iceman.
And
an absolute legend as I give you a stare down.
Yeah. And make sure you stay nice and warm out there because we all about to get some snow.
Ooh, heck yeah, brother. Do the same. Be safe. God bless to you and the whole fam.
Thanks, brother. See ya. All right, guys. As always, hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go check out Landon and everything he writes. He writes for Bengals Talk, Sports Illustrated. You know that guy, James Rapine, the guy who said he's going to come on my show again. We'll see what happens. He's going to sometime eventually. I just don't know when.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping requires. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. Their website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
Once again, thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, and Instagram. Hello, Instagram. You can follow me on all those long threads and TikTok. Do me a favor, check out my Substack. I've been writing articles down there for a couple months now. I got one out on Wes Miller, Satterfield, and UC's athletic director. Might want to check it out. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Other than that, one more thing. I'll be pulling this off later on tonight. Put it on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcast. Do me a favor. Make sure you, listen to it, rate it, like it, review it, and leave a comment and a 5-star review so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We should be having our fun Who Day Friday with the Godfather, Anthony Kazenza, and the draft guru, Dale Altman from Bengals and Brewers. It should be a fun Friday show. Remember one thing and one thing only, that is Who Day for life. Everybody throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya! That's just sports, baby.
Under the lights, the crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the rowing stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.